What was that today with MDRR? I mean, talk about not expecting this ticker to rip. I don't think this year I was watching or we've seen a small cap gapper. Maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to know. A REIT small cap lead gapper. Just hasn't really been happening. This one had 6 million market cap at first, 5 million float. They announced shares of a preferred stock cash dividend. I just didn't really see this one gapping, and I was a little bit pessimistic, not to mention the overall chart on it. So today I want to focus a little bit more on MDRR. We're going to talk about the other trades or day trades we wrapped up today as well, and then some of the swing trades because AMC, wow, what a freaking blockbuster that was. Okay, so let me go ahead, switch the screens here, go to the trading screens, and then we will kind of dive into the good stuff. So MDRR, Medalist Diversified REIT Inc., a Virginia-based REIT actually, and I have nothing against REITs, guys. Like, I love REITs. I own a few for dividends, but day trading REITs as sort of small cap gapper, I just wasn't really ready for it, and I was a little bit skeptical about the whole setup. So let's go ahead and actually dive into it right now. And actually, before we do that, let's kind of wrap up. How did we do today? Well, today was okay. I took a fat daddy loss with AMC. It was, I think, we'll look at this in a second. I think it was my biggest swing trading loss of this year. I'm not sure. Anyway, so P&L on the day, we're actually doing pretty well. So we're up 200 roughly on IDGX. We're up roughly 200 on XELB, and then another 100 here on OCX and MDRR. So we're pretty much wrapping up the day $500 in the green on our day trading profits. We're up about another 168 with our swing trade, and then we're down roughly, I calculated about $800 down on AMC. We closed that one today because it was past our overall risk level. So I stopped out of that one, which is a little bit unfortunate because I feel like the news is a little bit ridiculous, but yeah, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and talk about first the kind of heavyweight today, MDRR. Here it is. We are up just a little bit on this one, but again, the catalyst, it didn't really get me excited because they're paying a dividend that they paid already twice this year, and I just didn't really see anything. I just didn't get why it was up. And I'll always say, I don't trade tickers that I can't fully wrap my head around. And unfortunately, I was so kind of overly biased that I just didn't get this one, that I ended up missing the big move to the upside. And I didn't jump on this one when it was hot. So if you guys know more about this one than I do, feel free to leave a comment below. I am not ashamed to say I don't understand something. I'm learning here just like you guys are. And that's the best part about the community and YouTube. Just the amount of knowledge we can share with each other. That was a hard one to squeeze out somehow. MDRR, at first had a nice little break here at the pre-market open on TD Ameritrade. I bought the pullback, and I was hoping that we would have a little continuation back above 2.8. It was looking a little bit weak. The sell volume was high, and I closed this one right away. Took a 2 cents a share profit, tiny trade. Position size was a little bit bigger, but it wasn't anything too special. With MDRR in these areas at first, roughly under 2.8, I was thinking, okay, well, there's huge support around 2.5, kind of 2.8. This is kind of where we were, so I felt fairly comfortable trading this one. I knew there was bigger support at 2, so if we got down there, maybe I would do like some sort of base hit. I just did not see this one clearing all the support. But again, guys, that's what happens when you have one of these low floats of 4 or 5 million. We always are looking for the low floats, right? That's part of our criterion. Ideally under 10 million, has a catalyst, has strong spike history, has good daily room, so room to run, has not so much upside resistance, fast rate of change, and ideally between $2 and $7. So technically MDRR did fit our criterion pretty perfectly. I just didn't expect a REIT to be moving like this. I mean, REITs are very slow progressing kind of companies overall. So it really caught me off guard. I always recommend guys checking out the website a little bit more on these tickers, just to kind of get an idea of what this company does overall. It looks like they have some really good commercial real estate. If you just go to their homepage, you can kind of see a little bit more about them. Typically when we're day trading small caps, it's not so important to like dive into the details too much, besides like, checking out the warrants, checking out what the catalyst is, and then you're pretty much fixated on the overall price action, right? That's pretty much what we're doing here, price action trading. So when MDRR decided to kind of sell off all the way to $2, to me, I was like, oh, you know, it's below $30% from pre-market highs. It's below VWAP. It looks like it's going to sell off a little bit more. I did make it as one of my lead gappers. So I was going to be watching this one out of the gates. And I was thinking, okay, well, to be a little bit more risk averse on this one, I'm going to wait for maybe the break of 2. And then I would like to maybe accumulate on like, I don't know, 1.8, 1.7, and then look for maybe a red to green move. Nope, it just instantly shoots up 50%, has a quick pullback after getting halted. And this is where I almost bought at 2.4. I hesitated for a second because I was like, why is this one moving so much? And then, you know, popped up another 45%. And then from there, literally another 80%, having some few bigger pullbacks along the way. So huge missed opportunity, but it just goes to show it's okay because, you know, I missed this opportunity, but I learned that even REITs can explode. So maybe in the future, I won't be as biased towards them. And we're still wrapping up the day over $500 profit, our day trading profit. So it's still a good day. Swing trading profits are different, right? That's always a little different category. I don't try to mix the two up. It gets a little bit confusing. So yeah, overall, I'm still pretty happy about that. And yeah, so since AMC, that was a bigger kind of loss here. And actually, before we switch to AMC, let's just really quickly one last time kind of recap where, you know, what we're thinking here. Well, around 10:30, this one really found a bottom here roughly at like 350, 330, and volume really faded here, and then it kind of started popping back up, moved back above 4. I wasn't trading anymore at this point. This is pretty much when I was done with trading at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, like always. Sometimes we trade a little bit longer, but usually not. There was a nice few little pullbacks here, run ups. But this flash, pullback and this flash pullback, I don't know, made me very nervous trading MDRR, past 10:30. So I didn't really see like it was a ticker for me. Again, let me know if I'm clearly missing something on this one. I feel like I am, but at the same time, I don't know what I am missing. Well, I guess that's the whole point of not knowing what you're missing, right? Where do I think this is going to go from here? Well, clearly, $6 was that kind of final gap down zone. So we had a nice little gap fill here. Maybe we will have an afternoon run or something like that. The next big resistance zone is definitely 7 for sure. And then we'll see where it is for now. This pulled back a lot though. So that's a big red flag. We have some bigger support here at 2. I don't really know what's going to happen with this one. Maybe we'll see it tomorrow. But for me, I'm not going to be touching it anymore today. But big congratulations, guys, to anyone that was trading this ticker. I know some of you guys made some nice wins on it. It was just a beautiful move. And I'm super stoked to see stuff like this because, even though I missed this one, it just is a sign of what's to come. And we've been seeing some nice moves kind of back in on it ever since, like September, the 3rd week into September, we finally kind of ended this summer lull. So it's nice to see this activity, and I hope we're going to be seeing it into the end of the year. So, all right, now let's go to AMC just to talk about this swing trade a little bit. We were obviously talking about it on the live stream since yesterday, so it's nothing really totally new. But yeah, so we ended the live stream roughly around 11, and then, I had my limit order to sell at 313, and then we got out of this trade on the spike. I knew, and the reason I got out here is because we had a little bit of a shoulder here at 317. I could have maybe walked away with a little bit more profit, but, or, less loss, but yeah, it is what it is. With the AMC, we had huge support roughly at where was this? 3.8 right here. And we had a huge sell-off, plus 50% from the highs, right? And I was like, okay, well, we have huge support right at 380, multiple support zones. We've had a big breakout here to pull back to this zone. And, now we're having it just, the chances of this having somewhat of a bounce here is fairly high. And that's why I started accumulating here. Unfortunately, it didn't end up going that way. And, we actually had one nice little dip trade here. I was like, this could go down a little bit more because guess what? They came out with some catalysts that seemed a little bit ridiculous. Basically, yesterday, it was basically that by the end of the year, the cash reserves right here could be fairly depleted by 2020. And then Bloomberg comes out with an article overnight, or was it overnight? I forgot. But basically, a little bit later, Bloomberg comes out with an article saying that AMC is looking to file for bankruptcy, is considering bankruptcy right here. boom, the stock tanks ridiculously. Then the CEO comes out and says the Bloomberg report right here, you can see it, the Bloomberg report that we're going bankruptcy, filing for bankruptcy or potential bankruptcy is false. It's not true. It's fake news, more or less. So now the stock is recovering a little bit, and I felt like this was coming, right? I felt like this whole sell-off was a little bit over-exaggerated. And that's why, even though I, had like a 3,000 position here, I started averaging down because my total position size ideally is around $5,000. I got a little bit bigger on this one, around $6,000, because I felt like it's selling off way too much, and a bounce is overdue, and it was 13%. So good thing we accumulated a little bit more on the way down. The problem is I was already max position size, and I didn't want to get more. I didn't want to be over allocated in any one stock ever, and I was already a little bit over allocated with AMC. So that's why I stopped dip buying, even though it was painful, because I was like, if I was not long AMC right now, I would be long right now. So that's why that's another big reason why I felt comfortable buying more AMC on the way down, because my overall trade thesis, it pulled back way harder because of that news. It still kind of was meeting my criteria. I like, buying dip, buying, this big kind of support area. But yeah, ultimately, wow, that was a pretty slammer of a loss there, which is a bit unfortunate. So I was kind of going through my stats a little bit. And since we haven't been doing too much swing trading this year, and we're kind of getting into it a little bit, so since the beginning of the year, and we weren't doing too many swing trades, you could literally just, it's a pretty light amount of swing trades, but we're kind of picking it up now a little bit in the last few months. So we're overall $7,000 net profits in our swing trades, with only 37 trades. Total winners here, 86%. So overall our stats are pretty nice. And actually, let me zoom out a little bit. I'm way too zoomed in on this one. Yeah, so decent stats for sure, but it's going to be the largest loser. The last loser was biggest loser was an 8.11% one. But the thing about that is that it was a smaller overall position size. So the position size, that was with KO to DK. You guys probably remember how wicked that one was. So yeah, whatever. It's not like, it's nothing that's going to destroy me. It's nothing really too bad, but it is what it is. We had to take our loss on that because my thesis was pretty much wrong at one point, and I was down below 10%. And after 10% is where I'm like, okay, it's a failed trade. It's my max stop. So now let me figure out how I'm going to get out of this one. And usually I always sell on the first big bounce, and that's pretty much what happened here. So yeah, no surprise. We had a big pullback, we had a bounce, we had another big break from this area, another retest, and that's why I got out of this trade. So it's like nothing really too surprising. So our overall profits so far for October is $2.8 thousand. So today, actually, based on our day trading today and our another swing trade that's open HYL on, is actually kind of a green day. So even with a big loss like this on AMC, because we're day trading and swing trading, we actually are growing our account still. We are still ending the day green. It's kind of crazy. Really beautiful. This month so far, I'm a little sloppier. Last month we ended at 74% win ratio. Now I'm at 66%. But I don't know. I think we're doing okay this month. I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive with my position size. I really want this to be over $5,000 average position size. So yeah, I gotta maybe crank that up a little bit for the size. I think today I was trading with a little bit bigger size, so that was good. Okay, let's get into just reviewing a few of these a little bit more, and then we'll wrap up. So the next ticker, quickly worth talking about, IDXG. This was our biggest winner on the day. IDXG. And USA Diagnostic Research Company, Biotech Inc. So what I liked about this one, Interpace Biosciences Inc., what I liked about this one is that it had a catalyst. They won recent complaints from an audit committee about their kind of billing practices, which was really nice. 4 million float, 12 million market cap. I mean, this one literally fit everything that I usually look for. It's a small cap lead gapper with a catalyst between $2 and $7, fast rate of change. Everything was nice. It was pulling back a little bit hard, but it wasn't pulling back over 30% for pre-market highs. I actually made a decent, pretty much most of my money on this one with this breakout trade right here. And then I bought this pullback right here and took some profits again. So that's where I made the bulk of my money with IDXG. And then into the open, I was looking for the break of the VWAP here. I traded this one Walked away with a small profit on that one. We didn't get the breakout, but luckily I didn't take a loss on it. That would have been kind of painful because eventually it did have the big breakout. Then it makes a beautiful bull flag pattern. I missed this move. I ended up buying the pullback, and then I closed this one for a little bit of a loss. And then here I tried to buy the 9 EMA breakout, doesn't work. And luckily I closed this one right away because I noticed there was selling pressure. So I actually walked out green on that one, even though that freaking dip was ferocious. And I always say I like to wrap up trading by 10:30. So look at that. After 10:30, volume fades, falls off a cliff. It's just not as consistent after 10:30. So I'm always happy to wrap it up. XELB, another big winner today. USA Apparel Manufacturing, 7 million float, XELB. If you guys remember our swing trades, CHS and Express, those were really, really nice. I feel like we just did a lot of research on the apparel industry, so I felt fairly confident about trading this one, EXLB, and that's really the big reason I got kind of long on EXLB. I didn't really like the fact that the volume faded and fell off a cliff on this one, and I knew that that not too long ago it did the same thing, ran up pre-market and then fell off the cliff again. So I was really not stoked about trading this one at the market open, but I did know that a lot of these apparel companies are below $1 and they need to pump their stock price up, or else they're going to get delisted, right? Because that's a NASDAQ listing requirement to have a stock price over $1. So I was fairly confident buying the pullbacks here, and the catalyst was pretty nice too. The CEO bought 13.4 thousand shares at 0.77, so that's a really nice catalyst. So I bought the pullback here and sold on the rip. I bought the pullback here. I wanted to sell on a bigger rip, but I kind of chickened out and I missed that big move to the upside. Bought again a dip here at the $1 and then sold here. This was a pretty decent move on XELB, but after that, once it broke $1, it was dead to me. I wasn't looking at it anymore. Whew, a lot of takers here. OCX, let's quickly drop this one in. OCX, you can see here 57 million float, biotech USA company. I don't know. OCX, it was just a ticker I wasn't really watching. I didn't really like the overall kind of price. I didn't like that it was under $2. I didn't like that it sold off and was trending below VWAP. I did get this larger bounce here around 2. I felt like that was the only thing I felt comfortable with. And then MDRR, yeah, I mean, that's the one, right? That's the big runner that I only was able to walk away with 40 bucks on. But hey, you know what? Next time, I hope I'm going to be a little bit more prepared. And oops, MDRR. So now we know, right? Now we know that REITs are just absolutely crazy sometimes. Pulling back 47% now from the highs. Just be careful. It's pulling back a lot. Volume's fading. It's stuck below VWAP. I'd be a little bit nervous with this one myself. Don't forget, guys, on Friday, we have the Oktoberfest where you can win Trade Journal sweater. Whoever has the best Oktoberfest outfit, we're going to crack a beer together at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the community tab for more information about this. And remember, if you post the picture on Instagram or Twitter, make sure to use the hashtag TradeOktoberfest. And then in the recap video, we will be announcing the winner. Yeah, that is October 16th. And if you want to learn more, guys, check out that first link in the video description below. You go to tradejournal.co/connect and you can see the whole foundation video series here to get you caught up to speed, because we go live every morning at 9:15 a.m. to review the watch list and then trade the market open. So if you want to learn more about day trading and swing trading, definitely watch this foundation series. It's free on Skillshare, and there's like 2 weeks or 2 months or something free there. Check out our sponsors and definitely check out the Discord group, guys. A lot more information there, and especially on laptops right now. We're all looking for new laptops, trading laptops, it feels like. So check out the Discord group. There's a whole hardware community section now as well. All right, guys, that's everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys then first thing tomorrow morning. Like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades, guys. Ciao, ciao.